If you clicked on this video, then that means you're probably looking for tips, ideas, or maybe even a little bit of motivation to declutter your closet. And today I am going to be sharing my process here with you. I have a few practical and efficient things that I like to do during the decluttering process that keeps me from feeling overwhelmed, helps me stay motivated, and helps me get it done. Hopefully this video helps you today. I appreciate you being here. Now let's get to decluttering. Before I get started today, I'm going to give you a look at what the closet looks like currently. It isn't the messiest space in the world, but it does have a lot of stuff in it. And my goal is to go through today, clear some things out, things that no longer serve me. And hopefully I will have a refreshed, decluttered space by the end of this video. Before starting a project like this, preparation is key. So I like to gather a few items that will help me keep the mess under control before I dive in. I use empty bins for sorting donations and consignment items. You could use whatever you have on hand, like laundry baskets, even trash bags work great. I also like to use a rolling rack while I'm purging. This way, everything stays organized and I don't make a bigger mess during this process. So this keeps that mess at bay. This makes it so much easier to stay on track and just go through everything. Before you dive into decluttering, take a moment to clear the floor of any items that are out of place. This little step gives you a clean space to work with, makes the whole process feel less overwhelming. I actually have a few suitcases to unpack from a recent trip, so I'm going to get those pulled out and unpacked first. So this is actually Minky's suitcase. She went with us to Santa Fe, and I have to show you these just in case you're a pet parent. I found the cutest clothes for Minky on Etsy at this really adorable shop. The owner was just such a sweetheart too, so I just had to show you these. But look how precious all of these are from her shop. Minky's little puffer and these little cozy knits. But look at the quality. They're so good, and the shop owner was so sweet. I just really wanted to share these with you all, especially if you're a pet parent. The most adorable clothes for all the different seasons for dogs. So I will leave a link to this Etsy shop below because everything on that site is just darling. I literally want it all, but I really needed to get Minky some warmer things to wear while we were there because she's so tiny and she gets so cold, and these were absolutely perfect. She loved them. I'll try to put a picture of her in this little puffer up on the screen so you can see how cute she was, but this puffer was so nice. Lined inside, it's just really high quality, and I had such a good experience with the shop. Love the clothes, and I will be back to buy all the pups something really cute for spring and summer on that site. Look at Minky's little clothes. I have to tell you that I absolutely love this suitcase set. I found it right before my trip. I have not traveled in a while. I desperately needed new luggage, and I don't take long trips like the one I just returned from often, so I didn't want to spend a fortune on suitcases. I was super happy when I found this 6-piece set on Amazon. It was such a great price. The quality is also amazing, and I love that the entire set nests inside the extra large suitcase. You'll see that in just a bit when I put them away, but this just makes storing things like bulky luggage so much easier. I will be sure to link it below for you.
I also wanted to mention that the travel organizer pouches that I used on this trip are separate finds from Amazon. They did not come with the luggage set, but they were so nice to have on this trip also. They kept everything organized, and they also made this unpacking process much easier. I'll link those too.
When it comes to decluttering any space in our home that needs attention, I know that the hardest part can often be just getting started. We start to think about all the things that we have to do, and that right there can just trigger that overwhelm. My closet, although it needs decluttering, is somewhat still organized into categories. When I'm doing something like a closet, I do like to start by item type or zone. I like to start with something that I have the smallest amount of. So for example, I have many more clothing pieces than I do shoes and handbags, right? I have more shoes than I do have handbags. So I'm probably going to start with my handbag collection today, move to shoes, and then so on and so forth. And then finally tackle all of the clothes that I so desperately need to purge. You can always start with something like your sunglass collection or your jewelry, whatever feels right for you. Start there. Decluttering a space, especially a space like our closets, can feel very overwhelming. It can be a hard process to let go of things that we've held on to. whole thing that sparked my closet declutter this month was coming into my closet back in January before the trip that we just unpacked for and realizing that I had so many pieces in my closet that I had not touched in years. A lot of the items in my closet I donate, but those things that have more value, designer handbags, things like that, I like to sell on consignment. The only way that I consign anything is through The RealReal. They make the process so easy, so fast, so simple. All you do is get a prepaid shipping label that they send you. You send that item to them and they do all the work. They take the photographs, they sell it for you, and then they send you a direct deposit. It's very easy. The RealReal was also kind enough to offer to sponsor this video today, so thank you to them for sponsoring this declutter. I have always had a fantastic experience with The RealReal. That's who I will be using to consign these items as well. So I wanted to share with you, just in case you are in the same situation that I am, you have a few pieces that you would like to consign, but I will put their link in the description box below, as well as a QR code here on the screen so that you can check them out. This has a receipt in it and a soy sauce packet, because that's how serious I am about my sushi, okay? These are some of my absolute favorite shoes. I actually was wearing them in my St. Patrick's Day video. That video was filmed 2 years ago, so they didn't look like this. They're shoes from Guess. They're not the best quality. I had bought them in Vegas when I was on a trip back in 2014, so a very long time ago. And the inside is just very worn and messed up. I'm probably just gonna have to unfortunately get rid of them because no one wants to wear these. But I love the style. I hope I can find something similar because I still really like the shoe. It's just too worn at this point to look nice. When you wear it, it'll look too tattered. Gonna have to get rid of these, unfortunately. These I also love, but they're coming apart, so it's time for them to go. I could get these fixed, I guess. I might do that. This was my great-grandmother's little velvet clutch. How sweet is this? moving on to clothing. And since I already have my closet zoned by clothing type, for example, these are my dresses, I have all of my athletic wear up here, got my sweaters and my tops and my loungewear. I am going to go by zone, and I'm starting with the dresses. Typically I would start from one corner and just work my way around the closet, but for some reason the athletic wear is overwhelming me a little bit. So instead of getting stuck there, I'm gonna go ahead and just start with the dresses because this feels like an area that I really want to tackle. I've wanted to tackle for some time. So we're gonna start right here.
I know that it might not look like it here because video editing makes decluttering seem so quick, but in reality, we all know that it is definitely a process. When you are going through each category, don't let the quantity of the items overwhelm you. Just take it one item at a time. If you're unsure about something, that is totally fine. Set it aside and keep moving. Do not let a few tricky pieces slow you down or stop you. You can just circle back to them later. It is totally okay. This kind of leads me to my next tip, which is do not rush the process. Take your time. Although it may not be the most fun activity in the world, you do owe it to yourself to not rush through decluttering your space. Give yourself permission to go at your own pace. That's what I kept telling myself through this whole process. This will help you make better decisions about what to keep and what to let go of. I mentioned setting things aside that you may be on the fence about, which leads me to my next tip, which is have a maybe pile. Sometimes we need more than just a day to decide to part with our things. Remember, you are choosing to declutter and you are on your own time. You are not answering to anybody but you. So we often have attachments to our things that we don't realize we have until we go to let go of them. And sometimes they don't seem to make sense. Like we think to ourselves, why don't I want to get rid of this? I haven't touched it in years, but maybe it has a memory attached to it, or maybe it's just something that you really like, and that's totally okay. You've got to be kind and honest with yourself through this process. If you're really unsure about an item, add it to that maybe pile. This lets you set it aside for a while without feeling guilty about keeping it. After a few weeks, come back and assess if you've really missed it. Chances are you won't even remember that you did, and maybe by then you'll be ready to part with it. Here's a quick look at everything I pulled out of the closet today before I pack it away in bins to donate it. As your YouTube bestie, I want to tell you, it is okay to let go of things that no longer serve you. Letting go makes room for new things, and keeping our spaces tidy and fresh is just something we owe ourselves. So if you haven't used something in the past year, it may be time to part with it. Don't be afraid to let go, because when we let go of the old, we make room for the new. I wasn't quite able to fit everything that I decided to part with today into the bins that I grabbed, so I will have to get another one, but I kind of see that as pretty good progress, because that means that I purged more than I thought I was going to. So I think that makes for a successful declutter today. I actually went through my denim collection back in December and pulled the things that I no longer wanted. I just tucked them away at the top of my closet at that time, since it was the holiday season and I knew that I would probably do a closet declutter in the new year. So right now I am just going to get those down and get them put in the donation bins. A great way to declutter smaller items that are cluttering up a shelf, like all of my wallets and small leather goods right here, is just to grab a bin. This is one of my laundry bins, and I am pulling them all off of the shelf, putting them into this bin so that I can sort through and then organize everything I want to keep. This may be the most important tip, okay? And it is to celebrate your progress. Once you've gone through everything and made your decisions, do not forget to take a moment and appreciate the progress that you've made. Decluttering and letting go is hard work, and you've done a great job, and it is time to enjoy your newly decluttered space because you deserve it. Here is a look at my freshly decluttered closet after my work today. I feel like I still have a bit of work to do in here. I know it still may look cluttered to some. I didn't go through my jewelry or my sunglasses today. I'm going to tackle those at a different time. I remind myself that this is a process, and although it may just be a small improvements were made today, and I am so glad for that. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again very soon in the next video. So until I do, take care. If you're decluttering while you're watching this video, you've got this. You're going to feel so good when you're done. I'm rooting for you, and I will see you again soon. So happy decluttering and happy decorating.